Because of the long gospel, I will try to keep my homiletic reflection brief. The longest of the four gospels is the book of Luke, and this is a lengthy narrative of the Passion. And therefore, I'll reach into the many, many teachings which are in here just to save one particular point, which is unique to Luke's gospel. There are a number of things here that are remarkable about Luke. Luke is the only one who tells us that an angel came when he was at Gethsemane. Now, if you read back earlier in Matthew and Mark, only Matthew and Mark, mention angels come to minister to Jesus in the desert after his temptation. You remember that, the beginning of his public life. But Luke tells us an angel came to strengthen him at Gethsemane, going through his crisis. By the way, there's a precise point here that his sweat became like tears. His tears became like drops of blood. It doesn't say he sweated blood. It became like drops of blood. It's kind of interesting. So some people get that mixed up. Let me summon the one point I'd like to take, and that is something that occurs over and over in the Gospel of Luke and unique to Luke, and that is the emphasis on forgiveness. Now, we'll do many things for Lent. We'll give up things and we'll sacrifice, but that does not mean that we get a settled spirit. You know what a settled spirit? When I visit Father Niall, he's in a home there. The first question and the only question I ask him at the beginning is your soul peaceful? He says, yes, my soul is peaceful. That's the grace of the moment. You know those times when you're unsettled, you have a conflict inside of you. You get up in the morning and you say, there's something about this day that just, I know, I'm unsettled. I'm anxious, I'm conflicted, there's something, contradiction inside of me. That's the unsettled spirit. But look at the teaching of Jesus here. The forgiveness of Jesus is strongly emphasized in the Gospel of Luke. And the triumph of Jesus, the ultimate triumph, the triumph over the world, is a triumph that leads you to peace of soul. Somehow in the Gospel of Luke, Jesus could not have triumphed on the cross without forgiving those who crucified him, without forgiving the thief who looked at him and by his look asked for forgiveness. He didn't say the words, but his disposition was open to forgiveness, and Jesus says, this day you will be with me in paradise, not because you earned it, not because you merit it, but because you are loved. Karl Rahner has an interesting commentary on Jesus' statement, Father, forgive them, for they know not what to do, found only in Luke. Karl Rahner says, well, they knew what they were doing. They knew about their anger, and they knew about their jealousy, and they knew about their false judgment. All this they knew, but they didn't know that they were loved. And since they didn't know they were loved, they could turn to violence. They could invoke envy and jealousy and false judgment because they did not know that they were made to be loved and that they were in the experience of God's love. And therefore Jesus says, Father, forgive them. In my last trip to Jerusalem, about a year ago, our last pilgrim group, I came upon an image of Jesus I had never seen before. In Bethlehem, in this store in Bethlehem, they had this image carved from olive wood, from one piece of olive wood, and that was Jesus embracing the soldier who nailed him to the cross. And the soldier has a hammer, a mallet, and Jesus is embracing him. It's an image taken out of the Gospel of Luke. The ultimate statement of forgiveness. And I admired it so much. The pilgrims wishing to give me a gift bought this for me, and I have it in my office. It's very important. The image of Jesus forgiving you when you don't earn it, when you don't deserve it. No merit. It's free. That's the power of forgiveness. And like we'll give up lots of things at Lent and so forth, but we still can carry inside of us a certain resentment, a certain reaction to people, a certain anger. We can keep praying, but we carry this unsettled spirit inside of us. People don't meet our expectations. People let us down. We're disappointed in life. We didn't achieve what we set out to do. We failed. Beautiful statement that Jesus has here in Luke, only in Luke. Simon, Simon. Doesn't call him Peter. The human, Simon, Simon. Satan has sought to take you and to sift you like wheat, to break you down. But I have prayed for you that your faith may not fail. And after you have repented, you must first see your failure. You must see your anger. You must see the contradiction inside of you. You must see it. And after you have repented, only then can you strengthen your brethren. You must first see your sin. So watch the forgiveness of Jesus here in this Gospel of Luke. We're entering into this, the Holy Week. It's a week when the power of Jesus Christ triumphs over the world. He was judged unjustly. He was treated with violence. He was abandoned by his friends. Nobody stood with him in his hour of crisis. Did that ever happen to you? When you hit an hour of crisis and you expected somebody to be supportive and the person didn't show up? When you were lonely in your time of travail, did this happen to you in your life? When somebody let you down and you expected the person to be there and nobody showed up. That's Jesus. That's the power of Jesus in us. He could have been bitter. He could have died an angry and bitter man. But the man God triumphed over the world. And as you live, so shall you die. And in all my years around people who are dying, the most tragic moment is somebody who dies without forgiving, who dies with resentment, who dies with anger, who dies disappointed in life, not healed, not made whole. A person who doesn't triumph over the world. So listen to the power of Jesus Christ, the power of gentleness over violence, the power of forgiveness over recrimination or demand, the power to be free, not only free in the manner in which we live, but free in the manner in which we die. Take a moment sometime, go back and read again this passion out of the Gospel of Luke, and let the teaching of the kindness, the gentleness, the graciousness of God revealed in Jesus Christ touch us. Not just to learn from it, but to allow it to change us. We've all been disappointed in life. Many of us have been betrayed in life. Promises made to us were broken. We've had that. We've even looked inside ourselves and been disappointed in ourselves. We found ourselves undeserving. We found ourselves ungrateful, complaining instead of thanking. We found humanity in ourselves. And then we found Jesus Christ saying, Father, forgive them. They don't know how much they are loved. If only you knew how much you are loved. I meet people all the time that come to see me about some problem, a problem in a marriage or a problem, whatever a problem is. And I always begin by saying, to me, you're not a problem. To me, you are a gift. My day is better because I met you. I see goodness in you. I see sincerity. You have no idea how good you are. You don't know how wonderful, decent, honorable you are in your life. I know you have sinned. We all have sinned. But listen to the voice of Jesus saying, this day you shall be with me in paradise. This day you are healed, forgiven. This day you are loved. This day you are made whole. That's the journey of Holy Week. Now, by the time we get to Thursday, Friday, or maybe to Sunday, you'll start eating chocolates or drinking scotch or whatever you do. Did Lent change you? That's the question. Not that I triumphed by not drinking or not some. That's not the question. The question is, are you different? Did the power of Jesus Christ inside of you make you any different, any richer in the grace of God? Are you more prepared now, by the end of Lent, to enter into the greatest moment in history and to belong to the journey of Jesus Christ in passion, death, and resurrection? Are we more selfish now? Are we more fearful? There's a lot of fear in our society. We're afraid of undocumented people. We're afraid to embrace people. We're afraid to let people into our community because they don't qualify. Who qualified in the passion of Jesus Christ? Is there somebody who was excluded? Even those who crucified Jesus were embraced by the love, the infinite love of God. Who in your family, by the end of Lent, does not still feel loved, does not feel belonging? Who in our community doesn't still feel a certain embrace and welcome? Not a tolerance, but a welcome. Have we changed? Amen.